Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education meeting, regular meeting of April 20th, 2026. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Here.
Mrs. Frank?
Here.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. McFarland?
Here.
Mrs. Acosta is here. President Burton?
Here, and we have a quorum. We are delighted tonight to have the entire girls varsity hockey team with us. And while we're going to be recognizing them officially in just a moment, we're going to ask them to come forward, if you would, ladies, and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Wonderful. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, ladies. We frequently take care of that on our own, but it is so much more fun when we have honorees and some of our students can lead the pledge for us. So thank you for that impromptu request. We appreciate it. This evening's meeting is a regular meeting, or what's called, referred to by some as a voting meeting. What you'll find tonight, first we're going to celebrate we always have our celebration portion at the beginning of the meeting, so we don't keep folks here too long. But here, this evening, we are delighted to be celebrating the varsity girls hockey team with their state championship. So if you hold on for just a moment, we'll get right to it. As far as the rest of the meeting goes, when we get into items that we're going to be voting on this evening, you may not hear as much discussion on those items. Please do not be mistaken that we're taking these items lightly, because sometimes they are significant financial decisions we're making, but rather we've discussed these at previous study sessions and committee of the whole meetings, and basically beat them to death. And therefore, you won't hear as many questions, comments, etc. We do encourage you, if you're interested in the comments, the discussion on any given item, all of our committee of the whole meetings are recorded, and they're on our website. That's livoniapublicschools.org. If you hover over our board tab, you can drop down to the board meeting videos, and you can go back and watch any given committee of the whole or regular meeting for that matter to catch more discussion. Those meetings are always welcome, open to the public rather, and everyone is welcome to attend in person if you so choose also. Let's see here. One characteristic that we teach our children from the very first days they walk into Livonia Public Schools until they leave our doors is that of respect. We take it really seriously. We mean it. We know you teach it at home too, and we try to reinforce that every day at school. You have this Board of Education's word that we will treat one another and everyone who comes before us with respect this evening, and we ask that everyone here does the same. Thankfully, we live in a district and in a community where that doesn't need to be said. We kind of started saying it during COVID when life was a little testier, but we do repeat it every time. We want folks to know that we really do take it very seriously, and you have our word that we will have a respectful meeting this evening for all. We're going to take a break after our item 3B, which is our district update from the superintendent. And at that time, we will take some photos and have a break to congratulate our honorees this evening. So if you'd want to note that on your agenda. If you're looking for a copy of your agenda, if you'd like one, they can be found outside the door to my left. If you're watching from home this evening and you'd like a copy of the agenda, they can be found under that same board tab. So you can go to livoniapublicschools.org, hover over the board tab, and drop down to board meeting information, and you can find our agendas there also, because you can follow along. When we have our honorees, when our honorees are at the podium, as they will be shortly, if anyone would like to move about the room in order to get a better angle of a photograph, please feel free to do so. And at this time, we are going to move on to item 3, communications. And the very first item, 3A, is recognition of the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team Championship. And I will turn it over to Mrs. Jenkins.
Thank you. Good evening, President Burton, members of the board, Superintendent Elquist. Tonight, we are so happy to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team, which just completed its 9th season and earned its very first state championship. We welcome members of the team, as you can see, assembled behind me, and members of the coaching staff led by Janine Martinez. If you would please join me at the podium, Janine. And I was kind of debating this, but I think I would love it if all the girls would kind of come and stand behind me. I'm going to introduce you by name, and you can just kind of raise your hand as well. So if we could just kind of powwow all around in a little area here. That way we can all see you on the TV as well. All right. It comes as no surprise that the LU girls hockey team, which consists of players from all 3 of our high schools, had a truly impressive and unprecedented season, culminating with the Division II state championship title. Capping off a 14-2 regular season with a semifinal game win in triple overtime, the team clinched the state championship in Division II, which was also an overtime win. But that one only took one overtime, which is whew. At this time, I'd like to introduce the team members and the coaches. And we'll start with head coach Janine Martinez, who is assisted by her husband Gus. Their daughters, Kayla is here, and Corinne. Their future son-in-law, Adam Strathakis. So it's kind of a family affair there on the coaching staff. And also we have goalie coach Tony Alfonsi. And is Tony in the audience? Okay, Tony could not be here. He is the goalie coach, and he's not in the Martinez family, but he's definitely in the LU family.
He was invited, right?
He was definitely invited. And his daughter and his wife are here, so yeah. So as I say your name, I just have you raise your hand for a quick wave. Lauren Austin. Lauren is a junior at Stevenson. And we may have a couple members absent, right?
Correct.
Okay, because they're all doing
One's
different
playing on the lacrosse
sports.
game.
Yeah, lacrosse game and whatnot. So Sloan Roberts, junior at Churchill. Vanya Shrivastava, freshman at Churchill. Sarah Larson, junior at Churchill. Julianne Manansala, hope I got that right, junior at Stevenson. Charlotte Howell, a senior at Stevenson. Jillian Himmel, junior at Churchill. Lillian Dunn, freshman at Churchill. Epi Knapp, junior at Franklin. Shelby Otto, sophomore at Stevenson. Charlotte Statham, sophomore at Franklin. Kaylin Esch, sophomore at Franklin. Madison Stevens, senior at Franklin. Bristol Hammond, junior at Stevenson. Abigail Shipley, junior at Stevenson. Emma Ferris, senior at Churchill. Madison Alfonsi, sophomore at Franklin. Alexandria Henderson, senior at Stevenson. And Aubrey Conti, who is a sophomore at Stevenson. So let's give the girls all a round of applause.
Mrs. Jenkins, if I could jump in for a minute, I'm going to ask for a motion from the board.
We got extended.
Yeah, we did. We kind of jumped over that.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolution recognizing the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team on its Division II state championship title.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford.
Thank
Go
you.
right ahead. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to jump in there.
We are officially on the record now.
We are now on the record, yes.
Okay, so in preparation for this evening, we've prepared a special certificate which reads Livonia Public Schools Certificate of Achievement, Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team, Division II State Champions, honored by the Board of Education for Athletic Achievement, dated April 20th, 2026, signed by Superintendent Oquist and Board President Colleen Burton. And I'll present that now to Coach Janine. There you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if I could invite Board Trustee Karen Bradford to join us at the podium. We've also prepared a special resolution. So Trustee Bradford will read that and present that to you as well.
All right.
Sam,
Thank you.
mhm.
All right.
Here's the fancy copy.
Oh, I like fancy. All right, here we go. Board of Ed resolution for the Girls United Hockey Team. Whereas the trustees of the Livonia Public Schools District Board of Education are desirous of publicly recognizing the outstanding accomplishments of students who distinguish themselves during the pursuit of their public education in the school district. And whereas the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team, made up of players from Livonia Public Schools, coached by Janine Martinez and her coaching staff, has distinguished itself by achieving the 2026 Division II State Championship. And whereas, in achieving this honor, the Livonia United team, with an unprecedented season record of 14 wins and just 2 losses, captured its first Division II championship title and finished the playoff season with a perfect 3 wins and 0 losses, resulting in the state championship victory over Cranbrook at the Big Boy Ice Arena in Fraser, Michigan. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the trustees of the Board of Education do hereby commend and congratulate the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team for its outstanding accomplishments in athletics and wish the team members well in their future endeavors as they apply the discipline and perseverance needed to excel in sports to all areas of their lives. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Bradford.
You're welcome.
Before I turn it over to Coach, I also wanted to point out here for the audience, we have 24 chairs here, and we even have a chair reserved for all of the hardware. I don't know if you noticed this, but all of the everything is there on the chair, which is pretty cool, including that special bowl. So I'd like to welcome Coach Martinez.
First of all, Superintendent, School Board, thank you for inviting us and having our team here. It's been a long journey, I'm sure, as many of you have known, 10 years ago, of standing in front of you with my daughter Corinne, asking, can we start a girls' high school hockey team? And you were gracious enough to work with us and planted the seed. And then we grew each year, more leaves, more branches, proud of how many girls have gone through the team, to now eventually last year of, let's do this one more time and let's get that varsity letter now for these girls. So thank you, Kevin, for supporting the team throughout the years and helping us through the process of getting the varsity letter. I appreciate it. I know all these girls appreciate it. I mean, how many of you guys have a varsity coat that you're wearing that on? Super cool. I know the parents appreciate it. So we appreciate it, and as well, it turned into a family affair. I coached it. My husband actually was in the stands watching my youngest daughter play on the team. My middle daughter started coaching. My oldest daughter, Kayla, just moved back from college, and I asked her, hey, can you come help out? And then she's like, okay. And then she fell in love with the girls and never looked back. So it's truly a family affair. But these girls, the family, the parents, is truly a Livonia United hockey family. And I love the connection that these girls have made on and off the ice. And it's been a season. They started hard in the beginning, and they never gave up. Our last regular season game, we had to get that win to clinch a division champ. Wow. We lost the night before. We played the team again, Regina, and then we beat them that night to get the division champ by 1 point. Going into playoffs, first seed, obviously you got a target on your back. So the quarterfinal games, couldn't get a puck in until the second period, and then finally they kept turning on. We won that game. As you just said, going in the semifinal, that took us 0-0, 3 overtimes to finally get that goal in to clinch us to go into the playoffs, and then in the championship game. Truly, if you're a hockey person, I love telling this story. If you're a hockey person, you understand how much these kids fought. We were down 0-1 going into the third period. We scored 5 minutes into the period, tied it up. I'm like, okay, we're all right. We got a chance. Cranbrook scored 1:29 left in the game. So you could see some of the girls were like, oh, Kayla's running the D door, and she's like, don't cry on me.
Yeah.
Don't cry on me. The game's not over. We got a lot of time left. We can do this. Do what you're supposed to do. You call your timeout. You put the players you need out there. You tell your goalie, Emma, look at the bench. We're going to call you. We're going to have to pull you. We got to do everything we're supposed to be doing. And lo and behold, we pulled her. It's deep in their end. They're coming up. One of our defenses backing up. Sloan. Kayla's yelling at her. You got to get her. You got to get her. Forces her to dump it in. Maddie picks up the puck, skates it end to end, finds Jules in front of the net, puts it in with 29 seconds left to go to tie the game up. And it's like, holy cow, that worked. Going to overtime, the girls never gave up. About 1:23 left in the game. Maddie again in the corner, feeds Aubrey backdoor. She's wide open, and she banks it home. And it was a phenomenal setup, a good goal, but truly it was a team effort because it wasn't just the ones that scored the goal. It was the girls on the bench cheering their teammates on, defense doing what they need to do, forwards attacking. Truly, truly a team effort. And I love everyone because they all knew it had a key role to get us that championship win, and they all did their job to end up with being a state champion. So super proud. I can say the Livonia community has been phenomenal with so much love for these girls. We were at City Hall last week, which was super cool. We're going to be acknowledged at the Red Wing game, the alumni game as well.
Very cool.
I actually had Pamela Osborne from Channel 4 reach out to me that wants to do a story on the team. So it's super, super exciting to see having these girls get acknowledged of what they worked hard for, and getting the recognition and truly showing that girls do play hockey. And so, and it hopefully will keep growing year after year. And I would love to eventually have 3 girls' high school hockey teams.
That would be fabulous.
Hopefully one day, but truly appreciate you having us out. Thank you for all the recognition. These girls have done a good job off the ice as well. They're all student athletes. They all do really well in the classroom. As Kevin would know, their GPAs are very, very high as well. So I'm super proud of that they're a student first before they're an athlete, which is really important. So thank you again for having us. I truly appreciate it. I don't know if any of you girls want to say anything, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Would any of our
Anybody wanna say
athletes like to say a
anything?
few words?
Anyone? Captains? Seniors?
Don't be shy.
Freshmen? Okay.
All right.
No pressure.
Well, that's okay. Thank you for that play-by-play. I felt like I was there, like watching it
Same
live.
over
No,
again.
that was
I mean,
excellent.
like I said,
Yes.
I'll never forget it for my life, and I'm
Right?
sure these guys,
No, they will not
that's
forget
how
it.
you win a championship.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will be a memory ingrained in their head and stories to tell their kids,
Absolutely.
grandkids one day of how they won a state championship.
They will never forget it. I did check out the YouTube video.
The YouTube, state
Oh, my
champions are
goodness.
phenomenal.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. Yes.
They really did.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, thank you, thank you.
Are there comments or questions from board members? Mrs. Jarvis?
Thank you. Congratulations. Wow. Just listening to Coach Martinez do that play-by-play, I got goosebumps. I don't even know what to say to a champion team like this. I think they need to find that big boy arena and rename it Strong Girl Arena. Okay. And I also want to commend you on your teamwork. You guys each had a job to do. You focused. You kept your head down, did what you needed to do, and look what happens. They say teamwork makes the dream work. It's kind of campy, but it's true. And it's a good lesson for everything you do. When you focus on the job ahead of you and you get that done and trust everyone else to do the same thing, miracles happen. Well done.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Burton. In addition to congratulating you on the great win, I want to congratulate you on the type of people you are. Because we remember when you came in here a few years ago and pushed for the varsity letters. You were strong then. You were very united. You were very respectful. And I didn't expect any other outcome than you got this year. I mean, you stuck together. You're a tough group of young ladies. We appreciate that. And I noticed that there's still quite a few underclass women here. So next year, we do not want overtimes. We want you just to.
We'll take them.
We'll
But
take
yeah.
them, but we're going to start calling you the cardiac kids. But it was a wonderful year. I know, for one, what it takes to win a state championship. And to go through the 3 playoff games, and 2 of them overtime, that was just, you got to be really tough to get through that, because just one little letdown, and it all sort of goes in the handbasket, right? But with a minute to go, and they score, it could have been, you guys could have dropped your heads and said, we're done, and you didn't. That's the mark of real toughness, and you have it. You got the grit. So congratulations, and we're looking forward to it next year.
Mrs. Bradford.
Well, I think you guys like to go into overtime just to give your parents. I was at the championship game, and I know, sitting in the stands, it was very nerve-wracking to sit there, but so exciting when you did win and finally pull it off. I want to thank the coaches so much for their time and talents that they give to the team, because that makes a real difference in the support that you get. And in addition, the parents, it takes a lot to, I'm sure hockey is hours and hours of ice time and finances and different things, and to get your kids to where they need to get. So thank you to the parents for this, supporting your daughters, because that just makes a huge difference in what they do as they continue on in their life, to know that they have the support of their parents always on their side. So, and to the girls, congratulations. Again, you'll never forget this, and it's such an exciting moment to share and remember. And the hardware looks great on you, everything, and the big dish over there. I don't know, that bowl looks fabulous. So enjoy, and continue to enjoy it for a long time. So congratulations.
Thank you. If I could just say one thing too as well. Sorry. We do have a state championship up, that's already that's already been put up at Eddie Edgar, which is super cool, with everyone's name on it. And I will say, I had all the ADs from all 3 schools reach out to me, which I was super excited that they reached out to me. And they're gonna put the team photo up in the state championship hall. And they're actually getting Stevenson and Franklin, Churchill I guess doesn't do it, but they're getting banners made, and will be up in the gym for the girls.
Excellent.
I think that's super
As they
cool, that
should be.
when these guys go back
Yeah.
further, they can show people like, yeah, I won that state championship. So I think that's super cool, so
That's very exciting.
I thank them for that, so.
Any other board members? Mrs. Opus?
Thank you so much. I won't share too much more. Our board did a wonderful job sharing those congratulations, but it's interesting you just said that, Coach, because recently I had a chance to go back to our high school for a 40th reunion, and I will tell you, one of the first things that my classmates did was go into the gym and take a look at the records on the walls, to go through the hallways where the REDs have created such wonderful memories, and those Wall of Fame pieces. And I love the fact that you've come together from all 3 of our high schools, that you really are a Livonia United team. With so many underclassmen, that's got to make you pretty excited for the future, right? But the fact that you come from 3 high schools, you've come together to have this kind of success, not only throughout the season, but in the playoffs, is pretty remarkable. And so it's a moment that I'm certain sticks with you right now, but it's something decades from now you will be able to come back to and see at your high schools, and see in your own pictures and memories. And these trophies will never go away, and it will always be a piece of what you take with you. So every one of those late nights and early mornings, and I don't know if it's just exhaustion or exhilaration, but the overtime games, all of that will stay with you in your memory bank. And it will give you just a little extra juice when you need it later in life, when you need to persevere through something. You did it here, and you can absolutely do it again. So congratulations to each one of you. We're so proud of you.
Any other board members?
Just-
Yep. Mr. Johnson?
Just a question, and I don't want to start a fight, but where does the cup go?
This actually belongs to the league, and
Okay,
I'm on the board, actually, and we implemented this in the first year we implemented this. So our team name will get etched on here, so it goes back to the league, so every time somebody wins it, you'll get your name.
oh,
written
gets
on it.
cup guy.
Very
Okay,
nice.
wonderful, outstanding.
So it goes back to the league, but the other ones are moved.
Okay, and where do those go?
Right now, these are always gonna be on display, so incoming freshman night or interest game, we're gonna use it to
Excellent.
entice people to wanna play for Livonia United.
Yeah.
But I
Aren't you
will
having your
say-
skates right now, or
Pardon?
soon? Are you having your skates
We
soon?
just have one interest skate,
Okay,
and it was nice to have a lot of eighth graders come out.
Great.
Everybody- five
Oh,
of them
good.
already said they wanna play on the team.
wow.
35? Wow.
And I will say, when I have to place this in a home, I will say the first AD that reached out to me, who's been super supportive, is John from Franklin.
Oh, nice.
So he said, if you need a home for that trophy, you got one here.
Right.
So that was so nice of him to reach out, so I really appreciate John doing that.
Excellent. Mrs. Bradford?
And Coach Martinez, was it something I read on Facebook that you were the coach of the year?
Yes,
Yes, I think we should congratulate you on Coach of the Year. I did see that on Facebook, so, I do read a little bit of that. Maybe I shouldn't, but
my husband seems to think they spelled his name wrong on the award.
well, congratulations. We're really proud of you
But
for
really,
that.
being coach of the year just really wasn't my trophy. It really
Sure.
is.
It's a family.
staff.
It's a coach effort, a team effort, and these girls made me look good, so it was probably an easy picking, so
I
I
love
appreciate
it. Well,
it.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And as I was saying to a few of the girls as we were getting started, you can tell the difference when you're talking about the run up to the finals. You can tell if you're talking to someone who understands this or who doesn't. Because someone who doesn't really get it says, when you've won the division, you're going on to regionals, now you're at semifinals, and they say, oh, that's nice. It's like, oh, you have no clue. This is a really big deal. The people who say, oh my gosh, really? Where is it? When is it? That those are the folks who really get it. And this is a really, really big deal. These things just don't come around very often. But as Mrs. Oquist and others have said, you will remember this the rest of your lives, and it's a fabulous memory. Every team in the state ends on a loss except one, and this year you guys were the one. So cherish this, and like I said, you will never forget this. It's exciting. We're thrilled to be part of it with you. So thank you guys for coming out this evening. Any other comments? No? All righty. We do have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford, for the recognition of the Livonia United Girls High School Hockey Team Championship. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes. And the motion passes. Congratulations, ladies. You guys are welcome to take a seat for a moment. We're going to move on to our next item, which is our district update from the superintendent. We'll hear some fabulous goings-on around the district from Mrs. Oquist. And after that, we're going to take a 5 or 10 minute break so we can take some pictures and you guys can get congratulated by another whole group of another group of people who's excited for all the fun that you're having. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Oquist.
All righty. Thank you so much, President Burton. And thank you, Mrs. Ward, for having this up on the screen. We always start our presentations with some information and some highlights about learning and growing happening throughout the district, so it should be on all of our screens throughout the room. But we'll start out with some of our Cooper students, our Cooper Colts, who had some great time experimenting in the Idea Factory. And so the Idea Factory, is adjacent in most schools to our renovated media centers. They have an awesome Idea Factory at Cooper, and we have our students trying things out here as part of Project Lead the Way. And we'll move over to Coolidge. Our Young 5 students were very busy with our kindergarteners, and they had part of their PBIS is to have a positive behavior Challenge celebration. So they were also in their idea factory. And I have to tell you, I had a chance to spend some time a couple of weeks ago with all of our young fives and kindergarten students, and they are a lively and great bunch. They are so much fun. They have a wonderful group of staff and paraprofessionals, but they are just some of the happiest kiddos you'd have a chance to meet. So it's great to see them in our idea factories, creating and learning together. We'll move on to some highlights from the Livonia Career Technical Center. We have our Auto 2 students here. As you know, they do auto repairs on real automobiles. Sometimes it's cars that have been brought in by members of the community or staff members. They not only do repairs, but just some general diagnostics. And I will tell you, there is a great demand for their talent out in the field. So our staff is regularly contacted to find out when they will be ready to roll in the real world. So we love how they are getting career ready right at our very own Career Technical Center. We'll move on to Kennedy Elementary, where we had some of our fourth graders learning from DTE Energy. There's a lot going on, especially with all of the spring weather and some of the storms. And so it's great that DTE took some time to come out and talk about that. It matched one of our units that they were learning about in class. And so it's always great to have that real world connection. This is time for camp, and so you'll see some of our Cooper sixth graders out there at camp, and whether it is the high ropes or whether it is team building or archery or just some of those times where, as you can see, the whole group together in the main lodge area. It is one of those experiences that our kids just never forget. So each one of our 5th, 6th grade schools go to camp, and I believe we also had Riley out at camp last week. Is that correct? Riley out at camp. So there we go. And hopping over to Johnson, one of our other awesome Alper Elementary schools, they had their art show and book fair, and they also had some food trucks out there, which are always a popular addition. It has been Inclusion Week, so schools, you'll see different highlights across our district of ways that we focus on inclusion and friendship. And so it's been wonderful to see each of our schools take this on in a little bit of a different way. So you'll see this not only in our communications, but also from each of our schools. And so we have been celebrating this week ahead. So be sure to take a look at what our individual schools are doing as well as our district. It is really the heartbeat of who we are in LPS. And now we have some snazzy folks from Franklin. We have some of our Patriots who participated in Rock the Runway. And so this is an opportunity for students to have a chance to show off some of the wares that might be seen at our upcoming proms, which are just, a couple weeks away, guys? It's right around the corner, isn't it? Yeah, it's hard to believe. But Rock the Runway is something that's been in place for many, many years, and always a great time for those who participate. And we are already off we just wrapped up the most exciting part of our winter sports here tonight, but we're into our spring athletic season. The weather has given us some fits, but we are well underway, and it's been a great start to the season so far. We'll head on to see a few more, and our team putting in a ton of time and effort, and seeing some really exciting competitions at both our middle schools and our high schools. We'll share some kudos throughout the district. This was really neat. The Hayes Way is a movie that was created by our students at Hayes, one of our K-4 schools. It actually won Best in Show, and it was screened at the DAA on Saturday morning. So they had almost 500 submissions from across the state, and they were chosen. It is now available, and I believe Mrs. Lakatos has put it on their website as well as on social media, so you'll be able to see it. But what a cool thing to have our own students creating a film that is considered Best in Show and was able to be viewed at the DAA this weekend. So congratulations to our Huskies. They continue to do some pretty amazing things. And speaking of amazing, I know a lot of us were able to, was this last week? Mm-hmm. Okay, gosh. That went fast. So the Fine Arts Festival has officially kicked off. It is at the Livonia Civic Center Library all month long. So if you have not yet had a chance to see, it's on the first floor and the second floor, as well as the gallery upstairs. Artwork from all of our schools, and I believe each art teacher submits maybe 20 to 30 pieces of art from students from each of their schools. It was unbelievable. And I have to say, some of the clay projects were some of my very favorite this year. I had a chance to meet some kiddos from Randolph there in the center, and we took a photo together with Mrs. Stark and Mrs. Morton. They are elementary and secondary teacher leaders for art. So I just want to give a huge kudos to all of our art teachers who spent a lot of time not only creating these with students throughout the year, while they're also preparing for many of their own art fairs at their schools, but to put together this whole festival is a huge undertaking. So if you have a chance to stop by, I know they would love to have visitors there. And so you'll see on the next page there some additional pieces of artwork. And I have to just say, I took pictures as well. It just doesn't do it justice. You'll see pieces there of the clay pieces, and some are done with pencil and charcoal, and others with paint. Just remarkable what they're able to do. And I have to say, I looked at this one mask that was created, and I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder which high school that was. It was a fourth grader at Cleveland. Wow. I was truly blown away. So just such talented kiddos that we have, and amazing teachers who bring that talent out. So speaking of talented kiddos, we're going to recognize a couple of our graphic design students from LCTC. So Bella and Zoe both won awards. Our students participate in this every year, where they have the opportunity to design the actual auto show poster that is utilized. And so they were both awarded scholarships, and they were both in the top, I believe, top 10 posters selected throughout the Metro Detroit region. Wow. So to have two of those students come from LPS and from LCTC is pretty cool. So congratulations to both Bella and Zoe. And this must be the night for creativity, because we're also going to highlight reflections. And the PTSA Reflections Contest this year, the theme was I Belong, which really created a wide variety of literature and visual art and dance composition, photography. I'm not sure what else I'm missing there, but it was remarkable. And I also want to acknowledge Coolidge Elementary, who I believe had the largest number of students participating. But each school had participants and had students who had entries. And as it says here, we had 138 students from across the district be included, and we had a number of them continue on to the state level, and I believe 4 pieces go on to the national level for PTA. And as always, thank you to Mrs. Jarvis for being a wonderful MC for that event. It was really cool to see our kiddos up on stage. And we have our United Figure Skating, so huge congratulations to the figure skating team. They had a state runner-up finish, which is a really big deal. And they also had individual skaters who placed runner-up and state champion. So we want to congratulate Tegan, Emily, Kayla, Chloe, and the entire team for all of their efforts. So congratulations to each of them. There is so much work that goes into the sport of figure skating. And again, a tremendous amount of practice, time, and dedication. So congratulations to them. And it was also the season for some of our theater. So Stevenson had a truly stunning show. They had Anastasia this past weekend. You can see a little bit of the set there. But both the students on stage as well as those in the crew put in so much time and effort. And we want to congratulate our Stevenson Theater students for just a great performance, as well as the crew behind the scenes. We'll move on to see Shakespeare in Love. So Kappa created this wonderful evening for audiences and had just another wonderful cast and crew. Kappa is our creative and performing arts housed at Churchill, and they work so hard to incorporate all elements of theater into their programming. So I just thought some of the costumes there are absolutely spectacular. And finally, just a couple mark your calendars. It's hard to believe, but it's the 4th annual golf outing. So our LPS Education Foundation, a tremendous amount of fundraising done by the foundation goes right back into our classrooms to support our students and our staff. So the golf outing will be Saturday, July 18th at Idlewild. So there's a QR code on our website as well as on all of the foundation sites to be able to join in the fun there. And I think one of all of our favorites is the Garfield Craft Show. Our students in the Western Wayne Skill Center, housed at Garfield Community School, work so hard. The Christmas craft show was so beautiful, and we're really excited to see. They will have crafts, they'll have baked goods, they'll have plants and flowers. So if you have a chance, 8:30 to 1:30, I'd suggest if you're going, make it closer to 8:30. They will absolutely wow you with their wares. And here comes the class of 2039. We are currently registering. We have almost 600 kindergartners already registered. How adorable! Signing day. It's not just the athletes. It's our kindergartners participating in signing day. The pencil is as big as she is, but just adorable. So kindergarten registration is already open, and we have our kindergarten night coming up on Wednesday. So that's a really important night for parents, and then Roundup will be on May 21st. So here comes the class of 2039. And just a couple more quick highlights. This is always a winner, but the LCTC, the Charity Fashion Show, so much work goes into this. It is completely student-run. And it's also not only a wonderful event, but it's a fundraiser. And this year, the proceeds will go to C.S. Mott Children's Hospital. So if you are interested, tickets are available online through LCTC. But the students put together the entire show. They MC it. They put the music, all of the costumes. It's a remarkable evening. And the resource fair is coming up this week. It's at ECC. So if you know families that have little ones, this is really an outstanding opportunity to have a ton of resources at the fingertips of parents, put on by the ECC staff at our new Livonia Early Childhood Center. Many tremendous resources there. And I also heard some awesome raffle baskets. And I think 2 more. Earth Day is coming up. Hayes will have the Earth Day celebration on April 22nd at 12:45. So we will be welcoming Westland Mayor Kevin Coleman and a number of special guests. As you know, they are one of our green
Eco schools.
Green Eco School? Okay, I know they've reached a special designation, so forgive me, Mrs. Lakatos and Mrs. Broom, that I don't remember exactly what that is, but they work extraordinarily hard at their green efforts, and so they will be celebrating on that day. And then finally, sub a staffer. If you know you're an LPS staffer and you would like to give them a free day off between now and the end of the year, it is that time. So I will be, along with all of the members of our cabinet who I want to thank, will cover them for their time away. So we are willing to cover any role with the exception of bus driver, because we're not allowed to, that we don't have our CDLs, but we will do and have done bus parapro and secretaries and custodians and teachers, principals. So you can put in a raffle ticket, and the 10 names will randomly be drawn, and we will each cover them for a half a day so they can enjoy the day. And this is a fundraiser for the LPS Education Foundation.
Excellent.
So thank you so much, President Burton.
You are welcome, and thank you.
Absolutely.
Those are always fun, exciting things to celebrate and look forward to both. So,
Absolutely.
alrighty, at this time, we're going to take about a 5 to 10 minute recess so that we can congratulate our honorees, the ladies hockey team this evening. We are at recess for a few moments. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the continuation of the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education regular meeting of April 20th, 2026. If you're just now joining us, rewind and watch the excitement of celebrating the girls' United Hockey Team state championship. We had a wonderful evening celebrating some very special ladies. We're going to move on right now to item 3C, audience communications. I do not have any blue slips. Is there any member of the audience who would like to participate in audience communications this evening? Alrighty, seeing none, we are going to move on to item 4, our consent agenda. And may I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the following consent agenda items as recommended by the superintendent. 5A, minutes of the closed session of March 23rd, 2026. 5B, minutes of the regular meeting of March 23rd, 2026. 6A, adoption of resolution for LPS stormwater program. 6B, approval of water main agreement, LCTC and ECC. 7A, approval of 2026-2027 cooperative agreements.
Support. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank. Is there any member of the Board of Education who would like to remove any item from the consent agenda for further consideration? Seeing none, Mrs. Acosta, would you please take a roll take the vote, please, on the consent agenda items?
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is item 6, business matters, and 6C is the approval of the Coolidge water main repairs. And we'll be, can we have a motion for that item, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation from the owner's representative, Plant Moran Real Point, to proceed with the water main replacement at Coolidge Elementary School in the amount of $220,938 plus $34,062 in contingency for a total project cost of $255,000. We further authorize the superintendent or her designee to negotiate and execute the final contract with the recommended contractor, D'Angelo Brothers, Inc., Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we are going to hear from Mr. Green on this item.
Hello, I'm over here tonight. If you
Hello
could see
there.
me. Hello. Oh, there you have me on TV.
We've
Thank
got you.
Well, thank you so much for considering this approval for the Coolidge water main. As we had a chance to talk about at our study session and our committee of the whole meeting, this is part of our ongoing sinking fund projects. We discussed with you and the board and Mr. Weber from Plant Moran how we had many months of meetings with the Department of Public Works at the City of Livonia. We appreciate that partnership as we looked at a private water main, which this is, but looking at some contingency for additional scope, so if someday the city is interested in expanding that project, they could do so. So what a great partnership and what an absolute necessary need at Coolidge as part of our ongoing improvements through the sinking fund. So we'd ask for your approval on that.
All righty. Are there questions or comments on this item? And Mr. Green, just a clarification, when you said it's a private water main, that's as opposed to being owned by the city, is that correct?
That would be correct. We would maintain any cost for replacement on that as
Okay.
it is, will stay private.
Okay, and it's surprisingly, as a lot of people don't realize, the city and the school district are two totally separate entities. So this one is owned by the school district.
That is correct.
All righty. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion for the approval of the Coolidge water main repairs by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 8, personnel matters, and 8A is teachers for tenure. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Frank?
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and acknowledge that tenure status has been granted to the following teachers effective on the respective date. Julie Kubek, April 4th, 2026, and Lisa Cleveland, April 11th, 2026.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Acosta. And we will hear from Mr. Griesek on this item.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Our teachers for tenure on this agenda have successfully completed the district's requirements for probationary teachers, including years of service, evaluations, overall performance, and documentation of student growth. We have carefully reviewed all supporting materials along with the recommendations of our building admin and have verified that these educators should be granted tenure status with Livonia Public Schools. We wish to congratulate these staff members for reaching this milestone and look forward to their continued success working with Livonia Public Schools.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments from the board or superintendent?
Congratulations.
Yes.
wonderful years.
It is, yes, it is. And it's a wonderful thing to have achieved this and to be able to have that for the remainder of your professional career. So congratulations to these ladies. We have a motion for teachers for tenure, recognizing teachers for tenure, motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Acosta. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 8B, leaves of absence. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. McFarland?
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and approve the request for leave of absence as listed below. Anna Burris, effective date April 14th, 2026.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we will hear from Mr. Francis on this item.
Good evening, thank you.
Good evening.
The staff member listed in your board documents is requesting a leave from Livonia Public Schools for the remainder of the 25-26 school year. The request is in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement for her bargaining unit, and I ask that you please consider approval of their leave.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments by members of the board or the superintendent? All right, seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis for leaves of absence. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 8C, resignations, and that does not require a board vote. 8D is retirements. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Bradford?
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolutions of appreciation for services rendered by Ann Bibeau, Tracy Bailey, Para Baker, Maureen Castiglione, Deborah Cordisco, Timothy Gobble, Kelly Granowitz, Eric Heft, Karen Hoffman, Renee Kish, Peter Mazzoni, Antonio Mercer, Kenneth Wilson, Ronald Zapolsky.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Frank, and we're going to hear from Mr. Francis on this item.
Thank you again. So tonight, we're honoring and congratulating 14 members of our LPS family who are retiring from their positions with Livonia Public Schools. And I'll take a moment to say there are several people on that list that I've worked with for quite some time directly. So these staff members leave the district. They're taking with them a combined total of 412.7 years of experience. On behalf of the administration, I'd like to thank our retirees for their dedicated years of service they've provided the students of LPS, and we ask the board to please adopt their attached resolution of appreciation.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions from the superintendent or board members? Mr. McFarland?
tremendous. I don't know that in my time here I've heard 412 combined years of experience yet. Amazing. And just personally, one name on this list stands out. Mr. Tim Gobble had a huge impact on myself, many people of my time, whether it was with football or global ed or just civics, government, but just a tremendous educator and human being, and congrats, but will be very missed.
Absolutely, certainly. Any comments from other board members or the superintendent? Oh, go ahead. Mrs. Frank?
I was just going to say, it is just, looking at this list is so interesting how different roles in our district play such a huge impact on our kids. You know, from a teacher, coach, to a principal at a building, to a building supervisor. The kids know you and the kids appreciate you, and it's just amazing, just the different roles that we have and how impactful they are for our kids. And so many of the people on this list this week have been very impactful to our kids.
Absolutely. Mrs. Bradford?
I just also want to congratulate all of the people, the LPS employees on this list. Several of them, I have had the pleasure of knowing them for many years, and I just want to congratulate them and wish them all the best on their retirement. I am going to shout out to Tony Mercer, because he was at Hoover when I was there as a custodian or a building supervisor, and he just holds a special place in my heart. So congratulations to Tony, Mr. Tony. Mr. Tony.
Other comments from board members or the superintendent?
I think they've covered it all. I was just going to mention that as well, and congratulations to all of our retirees. This is not surprisingly just a powerhouse group, as we've had the past couple of meetings, and a tremendous amount of dedication in this particular group. And I was also going to recognize our building supervisor here, Tony Mercer, but Karen did that for us, so thank you so
about that.
much. We're all great.
Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Burton. Again, I want to shout out to Tony. I met Tony a number of years ago, and we have become very good friends. We go to lunch together. We drag Randy every now and then as well. And he's such a wonderful guy. And it's just a privilege to call him a friend.
Any other comments? We've been doing this for a long time. Whenever we get to retirements, it is such a bittersweet thing. And there are always, we certainly wish every individual on this list a wonderful and certainly well-earned retirement. At the same time, we are so sad to see you walk out the door and know, as it's been said, the impact that you've had on primarily our students, but also those of us as adults who work in the district who have become friends with many, many of these folks on the list. So we congratulate you, we wish you well, and we hope that you are not strangers, but keep coming back around. We have a motion for retirements, motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Frank. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. Congratulations to our retirees. The next item on our list, our agenda this evening is item 9, hearing from board members, and 9A is the approval of the amended 2025-2026 board meeting calendar. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton?
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District amend the 2025-2026 regular board meeting schedule as follows. May 18, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. moves to May 26, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. June 22nd, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. moves to June 15, 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And Mrs. Oquist, would you like to speak to this item, or would you like me to cover it?
I'm happy to. It's really just as Mrs. Acosta said. We have the new dates for the May and June regular meetings. The May study session and committee of the whole remain where they were, and the June calendar for all 3 meetings is moved up by 1 week. But most importantly are the two notes that Mrs. Acosta made in the motion for the May and June regular meetings. It is a requirement that those changes are voted upon at the prior regular meeting. And so we ask your approval in doing so this evening.
Thank you. And it is of note that May 26th is going to be a Tuesday night meeting. That's unusual for our board, but we felt it was important to try to move these meetings around a bit in order to have the whole board in attendance as frequently as possible. And I thank our board for their cooperation in doing so it can accommodate all of our folks. Any other comments on this item?
President Burton.
Mr. Johnson?
Just one question. Is the public meeting, the public hearing for June 15th also moved?
Yes. Hang on a minute.
It's not
It
in
is.
the motion.
It does
Right.
not have to be voted upon.
Only,
Okay.
only the regular
Just the
meeting has to be
regular
meeting.
voted, yeah.
I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
And again, if anyone is watching from home and is interested in the complete meeting calendar, that can be found on our website, livoniapublicschools.org. Hover over the board tab, and you can drop right down to the board meeting calendar. There you'll see our complete schedule for study sessions, committee of the whole, special meetings, regular meetings or voting meetings, as they're frequently referred to, and any workshops that we may be having. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we have a motion for the approval of the amended 2025-2026 board meeting calendar. Motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes.
And that will be updated on our calendars,
Yes.
on our.
This will be,
Teresa, that'll
and
be
that
updated on
motion
our
does
website tomorrow.
pass. It will be updated on our website and, right, and Mrs. Gutta will make sure that it's updated on our own board calendars. Thank you. And Mrs. Gutta, thank you so much for keeping those things updated, because they are referred back to more often than you will probably know.
You're very welcome.
The next item on our agenda is item 9B, which is the second reading of Board Policy IDCA Summer School Program. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Jarvis.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy IDCA Summer School Program.
Support?
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, and I believe we'll hear from Mr. Echuan. Oh, Mrs. O'Brien, sorry,
Yep.
thank you.
Nope, that's okay. This board policy was read and discussed at a study session, a committee of the whole, and at our last regular board meeting, we had our first reading, and there have been no changes since then. So we ask that it gets voted and accepted into our policy.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments on this item? And Mrs. O'Brien, just in a sentence, can you let the public know what the gist is that that we changed on this one?
So we just updated a policy we currently have just to
I think
better
we ch-
represent what we currently do. The Division of Instruction team part was added,
Yeah.
and that we offer summer school programming.
Gotcha, okay. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, for the second reading of Board Policy IDCA Summer School Program. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9C, second reading of Board Policy JBD, homeless students. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JBD, homeless students.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And we will hear from Mr. Francis.
Thank you very much. This board policy was an update. We've had this board policy essentially for many years with regard to homeless students following the law. So when we updated it, we just had to bring it up to date slightly. We had talked about this at a study session. At the committee of the whole meeting, we then read through it. There was discussion with the board, and all of the changes were made. We did bring this to last month's regular meeting. It had its first reading. No changes were needed at that time. So at this point, we are simply doing the second reading of it. It is exactly as it's been previously, and I recommend this to the board to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
You're welcome.
Comments from board members or the superintendent? And Mr. Francis, likewise, this has not changed much in its content, but rather was brought up to date for titles, language, offices, et cetera.
Correct. Basically, it still has the citation for the law. Nothing really has changed in the law. We just sort of updated some of the wording. We had a couple of titles in there for folks that might have not made sense any longer.
Okay, all righty. We have a motion, 9C, motion for second reading of board policy JBD, homeless students. Motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9D, second reading of board policy KM, visits to schools. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Frank.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy KM, visits to schools.
Support.
Stereo.
We have a, I heard many. We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the second reading of board policy KM, visits to schools. And we will be hearing tonight from Mrs. Jenkins. Hello there.
Hello. I'm hiding behind the post here.
Yes, we can see you on camera.
Okay, so policy KM was recently updated and reviewed at the study session. The committee of the whole was presented as the first reading at the last regular board meeting. And since those meetings, there have been no changes. And we recommend approval of the changes that were discussed at the prior meetings. The gist of the policy update for KM is really just updating our language when addressing visitors to our schools to align better with our safety and security protocols. So we just wanted to bring that language up to date.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments from the superintendent or board members? Yes, and the last time this policy was updated, we didn't have some of the protocols in place, either procedurally or physically. So thank you for making these changes and bringing that policy up to date. We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the second reading of board policy KM, visits to schools. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item is on our agenda is 9E, second reading of board policy KMA, unauthorized persons on school property. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. McFarland.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy KMA, unauthorized persons on school property.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we will hear from Mrs. Jenkins.
Thank you, President Burton. KMA policy was also reviewed in depth at a study session, the Committee of the Whole, And then the first reading was at our last month's regular board meeting. And since those three series of meetings, there have been no changes to the verbiage that is recommended for approval tonight.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions by members of the board or the superintendent? No. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the second reading of Board Policy KMA, Unauthorized Persons on School Property. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 9F, first reading of Board Policy ICC, Research and Pilot Studies. We don't need to have a motion on that, but we will be hearing from Mrs. O'Brien on this item.
Yes, we will. This board policy, ICC, Instructional Programs Research and Pilot Studies, was reviewed in 2014, and so we spent some time at the last study session and committee of the whole, and I would like to read that policy. I do have a little bit of a cold. I'm hopeful to make it through the next three policies without having a bit of a coughing problem.
Mrs. O'Brien, would you prefer that one of us read the policy? You can certainly do that.
I'm happy to try, and Mrs. Keats is ready to step in if I
Okay,
have
you're
a
on
little
deck.
bit of a problem.
Okay,
But thank you.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate that very
As long as
much.
it's read in, doesn't matter who.
The Board of Education recognizes that in order for the educational program to maintain necessary relevance to the rapidly changing society which it serves, provision must be made for the stimulation and development of awareness of changing needs, for time and opportunity to appraise the existing program, for planning needed changes, and for offering and/or requiring continuing in-service education of key personnel in the educational process. The Board of Education encourages the professional staff to participate in research and pilot studies that carefully assess the program, to identify improved instructional opportunities for students. Such improvements should relate to the changes in their interests and needs as reflected in college and career readiness. For studies which significantly diverge from or exceed curricular and instructional limits, proposals will be developed and submitted for approval by the superintendent or their designee for approval prior to implementation.
All right, do we have any comments or questions on this policy? Mr. Johnson, you look like you're studying something.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm thinking, in the last sentence where we say, or their designee, we typically say his or her designee.
I agree with you. For consistency, I would
For
rather
consistency
have
purposes.
it be his or her. And while we're doing that also, could we capitalize superintendent?
Absolutely.
Mrs. Acosta?
Since we have approval and then approval, that last sentence, can it say will be developed and submitted for approval prior to implementation by the superintendent? I don't know, I just feel like,
You're
Yes,
double.
so you're right.
You're correct.
Yep.
Can I try that last sentence then?
Yep.
For studies which significantly diverge from or exceed curricular and instructional limits, proposals will be developed and submitted by the
To the superintendent.
to the superintendent or his or her designee for approval prior to implementation.
That works.
Yep. Mrs. Jarvis? Or
That was the one I was
Was
going to
that it?
suggest.
Okay. Any other comments or questions, suggestions on this policy? No. All righty. We will put that on the agenda, Mrs. Acosta, please, for second reading at our next regular meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is 9G, first reading of Board Policy IDAA, Career Technical Education and Enrollment. And we'll hear from Mrs. O'Brien.
Thank you. This policy also falls under instructional programming and was reviewed in 2014. And we've mostly rewritten the whole first part, so I'm going to read that. The district will offer high school students opportunities to take career technical education, CTE, courses. The district is dedicated to fostering an inclusive environment where every student has the opportunity to thrive and succeed in CTE pathways. Enrollment in CTE programs will be open to all students based on program availability and student interest. The district will actively support participation and success for all learners regardless of race, color, national origin, ethnicity, gender, age, disability, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, language proficiency, or family background. English language learners and students receiving special education services will be fully supported and will not encounter barriers to enrollment or participation in any CTE program. The second paragraph stands as it was, but I'll read it. CTE courses provide students with the skills and knowledge they need for post-secondary education and careers. CTE programs will be offered at each high school and at the Livonia Career Technical Center. All CTE courses shall be organized in accordance with Michigan Department of Education Career and Technical Education Standards and Perkins Core Performance Areas.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions by the superintendent or board members? The only thing that I noticed at this reading, which is why we read through them several times, the third line of red print, after the word availability, we could probably remove that comma.
Okay.
So it would read, enrollment in CTE programs will be open to all students based on program availability and student interest.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Any other comments or suggestions on this policy? Alrighty, seeing none, Mrs. Acosta, would you please put this on the agenda for next month's regular meeting? And the next item on our agenda is 9H, first reading of board policy IDG, adult education. And we'll hear from Mrs. O'Brien.
Thank you. The adult education policy was last revised in November of 2014, and we rewrote it. So the new policy reads, the district may offer classes to support the completion of a high school diploma through credit recovery, high school equivalency prep for a GED, and courses for acquiring English language and personal math skills based on the district budget.
Sounds good. Any comments or questions on this item? Alrighty, seeing none, Mrs. Acosta, would you please put this one also on the agenda for next month's regular meeting? And thank you to our entire cabinet team for all of the heavy lifting on board policy. It's literally 600 pages, so we have it on our agenda on a very regular basis, but it does not go unnoticed that these are not light things to pick up. These are not generally grammatical things we're looking at, but the whole policy has to be read through for content. So we really appreciate all the work that's done. And once they are completed, it sounds like it would be a very easy thing to just pop it up on the website, but it's not. So thank you to Mrs. Gunta for spending a significant amount of time to get that properly on our website. I don't know why, but I do know that for years and years now, it's not a very easy task to perform. So thank you very much for getting that done for us on a very regular basis. The last item on our agenda this evening is item 9I, hearing from board members. Are there any board members who have anything they would like to share this evening? No, it's a quiet April. All righty. We are now at item 10, our adjournment. We wish you a nice evening, and we thank you very much for following along with us. We are adjourned.